You know, there's something about Nazamil that reminds me of Dohalim. She's...
Elegant.
Yes, exactly!
My family was strict about manners.
No surprise there. Your father being a lord. Law, you can be so insensitive sometimes.
I don't mind. My house is gone now anyway.
That was back on Lenegis, right? When did you come down to Dana?
When my father joined the crown contest as a lord, we came down together.
Oh yeah, Ganeth Harrows, right? But didn't Voron...
Why are you asking anyway?
Why? The more we know about each other, the quicker we can become friends, right?
Is that how all of you became friends?
I suppose so. Getting to know each other is an important step in learning to understand one another. It can be difficult to trust a stranger, but once you understand them better, you can move toward becoming friends. Still, why don't we change the topic to something more cheerful?
I don't know any cheerful topics.
I noticed while we were eating that you have really good table manners, Nazamil.
Is that something you were taught on Lenegis?
Yes, I had to memorize everything. Can I ask you something?
Of course. Ask us anything.
What I am. It doesn't bother you at all?
What, the thing about your parents? I mean, sure, it was a little surprising, but we're not really ones to talk when it comes to being unusual.
He's right. We are a rather strange group, all things told.
Exactly. For example, I'm Danon. But I'm also part of a mage clan that can use astral arts.
Dohalim here is a Renan lord who prefers poetry over power.
So, is that why you're with the Blazing Sword? With Alphen? Because you were different from others?
I suppose I appreciate how he embraces our eclectic natures. But that is not the only reason. We all have our differences, big or small. The question is, how we look at those differences.
What about Alphen and Shion?
In terms of different, those two are in a class all of their own. They're especially unique. But in the end, we see each other as fellow human beings. And when it comes down to it, all our differences are insignificant compared to that.
In other words, the way we see it, you're really not that different from the rest of us, Nazamil. So I'm sure we can be friends.
Friends? Yeah.
That's not your run-of-the-mill enemy.
People lived here long ago.
What's wrong?
Having someone to share my thoughts with is... strange.
Here it is. Payphone was right.
This is a mausoleum?
Yeah, that's what we call them. They were originally built on Rena.
And now they're here. Since Dana and Rena fused together a year ago. Most of them are underground. But sometimes you can find one above the surface, like this.
We got back together so we could deal with them.
We don't know what kind of machines or Zeugles might be inside. Make sure you stay close to us.
Okay, got it.
It doesn't look like anyone's gone up ahead.
Walking together like this, it's like we're back in the old days.
The old days? It's only been a year.
But after the battle with the Great Spirit, so many things have happened. A lot has changed.
Great Spirit. Is it true it's the collective will that manifests from all the astral energy within a world?
Yes. Rena's Great Spirit manifested a will of its own and engineered the conflict between Dana and Rena. Together, we fought it 1 year ago.
In the end, Alphen's power defeated the Great Spirit, allowing its astral energy to finally become one with Dana's. And now, with the Great Spirit no longer influencing the Renan people, our two cultures finally have a chance to unite as well.
So all of that is something that the Blazing Sword... that Alphen did? He's the reason the world is the way it is now?
I mean, he's the one who did it, but it's more like it's this way because it was always supposed to be. The problem is, instead of seeing this as a new world, both Dahnans and Renans think that Dahna just absorbed Rena into itself.
I mean, that is what it looks like, so I get the confusion. Rena disappears, then there's all these Renan buildings popping up everywhere, the hollowing, and that sky.
It's a difficult situation. The Renans lost their home when Lenegis collapsed, and the Dahnans feel like they're being invaded by all the resulting refugees. Most Renans are currently living in Pelegion, but there are some who have traveled outside Ganath Haros to settle in other regions and Dahnan cities. In some cases, like in Niez, accepting them in has resulted in tensions. And then the mausoleums are a problem as well.
Guess the only thing that hasn't changed is the wandering Zeugles.
Even Zeugles aren't the same. They're more violent than before, probably due to the merging of the worlds.
As you can see, we still have a lot of issues to deal with, but we're trying to solve them as best we can.
I see.
It's kind of hard to walk when things are all slanted like this.
This whole section seems to be tilted. Though it's not clear if it's because of the planetary convergence or if it was... damaged from the start.
I hope it's only this room. It'll be tough if it's like this the whole way.
Don't wander off ahead of the group, Nazamil.
Right. I got it.
I guess she's not scared. And here I thought that Zeugle in the outer mausoleum was pretty rare.
In a sense, it is fortunate this place cannot be destroyed using our current technology.
Indeed. Considering the amount of advanced technology within these mausoleums, many would want a piece of it for themselves.
I'm still not used to these Helganquil structures.
Helganquil?
Yes, the true natives of the planet Rena. The ones who built all this.
You know, Nazamil sure is fearless.
Now that you mention it, she is, isn't she? Maybe she's stronger than she looks.
Can I ask you something?
You don't have to ask that every time. What is it?
What kind of place is this mausoleum?
Well, it seems like it was originally supposed to help delay the collapse of Rena by controlling astral energy. But it's still operating, and that's not good.
Astral energy in this world is now composed of 6 elements, after Rena and Dahna became one.
Just like it was supposed to be from the very beginning.
But before they merged, Dahna had only 5 elements. Currently, the balance of energy is still shifting to achieve equilibrium. We believe these mausoleums are interfering with the flow of astral energy, preventing that balance. So we decided it's better to disable them.
So having 6 elements is normal?
Right. But something went wrong a long time ago, and they were divided. Rena got all the dark astral energy, and Dahna got the light.
When I was small, my father told me that I have all 6 elements, so it was my duty to master them.
Undoubtedly, it's due to you having both Renan and Dahnan blood. In a way, you're a herald of a new era. Is something wrong?
No. For a moment, I was just worried you were going to say something like, "What a fascinating specimen." Sorry.
Ah, and here I thought I was getting better at reading the room.
Anyway, this new world of ours needs all 6 elements in proper balance. So we're shutting down the mausoleums to help that happen.
So 6 elements are part of a new era. I never thought of it like that before.
Renan?
What a strange place. It's unlike any Renan or Danon structures I've seen before. Are they all like this?
We've seen a few of them, and I'd say they're mostly like this, yes.
Do you know a lot about architecture, Nazamiel?
No. Was that an odd thing to ask?
Not at all. It just means you're perceptive.
You're alert and paying attention to your surroundings. That's a good thing.
Yeah, and being curious is how you learn things. Speaking of which, I'm very curious about you.
Because I'm different?
Because you're interesting. And I want to get to know you, Nazamiel.
You do?
We all do. Personally, I look forward to hearing more of what you have to say.
I'll try to think of something.
Hey, new equipment!
Having everyone together like this makes me feel like we're back in the old days.
The old days? It hasn't been that long, has it? Although I'm glad to hear that what you consider the old days is the present day here with us.
You look like you're having a hard time.
I'm a little out of shape. I haven't left the library much recently.
We got some good equipment!
I can't say its appearance is to my tastes, personally.
I feel like there's something really important on the other side of that door.
How do you know that?
It's just something you sort of pick up. The design of the door, I guess?
In other words, it's nothing more than a hunch. anything. Go! Mega
Got fire!
I've got this! Let him march!
I'm ready! All yours!
Dance in the wind!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you! Try this! Resonate with the current! Burn! More Suko?
Keep calm and take them down!
Demon Fang!
Photon, illuminate!
Rising Weapon!
Leave the enemy arc to me! This one's mine!
I'm ready! Light Burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! So,
My turn!
how is our performance?
Marvelous to behold.
Lunar Rondo!
Now! This one's got your name on it!
Action to action!
Illuminate the
Here I
dark!
come! Struck you! Demon
Here
Fang!
goes!
I can carve through armor. Nothing gets by me. I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life! My turn! This one's all mine! Struck! In a bind! Demon Fang! Elusive!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! As usual, it's full of machines that do who knows what.
They're productions of foreign technology, every one of them. Trying to divine their purpose would be a fool's errand.
I'd recommend against touching them, Nazamil. Nazamil?
A crest?
Nazamil, is that?
No, it's not what you think.
She vanished! Nazamil! Wait! Nazamil! Where are you?
A crest appears, then she disappears. Just who the hell is she?
We can discuss that later. First, we need to find her.
About Nazamil's crest. Do you think it's...
Yeah. It looks similar to the Sovereign and Maiden crests.
Her parentage alone wouldn't be enough to explain this. You don't think she's also... We seem to have come across something a little unusual.
Another door.
It'd be nice to find Nazamil on the other side.
I hope she's safe. Nazamil!
Helganquil.
It's all right. They haven't woken. These are the Helganquil, the true people of Rena. They're sometimes discovered like this. I suppose that's why these places are called mausoleums.
Why did you run off? It's dangerous to be in here all by yourself.
Careful! Something's coming!
Well, guess we aren't getting out of this one.
No one appreciates a rude awakening.
Don't you think this ruckus is way more of a nuisance?
Rising Wyvern! You're mine! Lunarongo!
It looks like you got this one covered.
You guys,
Anything in armor is all mine!
never
Free
miss.
me of your power. Now you see what I can do!
Oh, violent darting wind. Card clouds the wall.
Lunarongo!
Field. Let's get you all tucked away.
Denied!
Lightning.
Stay there, Natsumiel.
Don't move. Stay put.
Try this! I'm ready!
Quickly.
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis. A freezing storm.
You're mine! Demon
Here's
Fang!
an ice tornado. Photon slap.
Rising Wyvern!
Illuminate the storm.
Resonate with the earth!
Fury Wyvern. Mighty Lord.
On you! Demon Fang!
Burning
Destruction!
Shining
Here I
Supernova.
come! Strike! Ignite!
Catapult.
Take this!
Stay here.
Rising Wyvern! Begin! You're finished! We're almost there. Let's finish this, everyone! Right! Time to end this for good!
I've got your back.
Let's draw the curtain. Lunarongo! Now you see what I can do!
A freezing storm.
Here I come!
Kisara, frozen.
Hammer!
It stopped. I think that should be the last of them.
Natsumiel. Please don't run off again. That crest earlier. Was that?
Was that why you ran? Because you were afraid?
I hate this. I hate everything about it. Because I'm not a Renan. I'm not a Danon. Everyone has always said that I'm not normal. And now I've been taken to this weird place. And my body's become even more unnatural. Next you'll all probably toss me aside. I know that everyone hates me. People always have. Even my own father hates me. Everyone! I'm different from everyone! I just don't fit in anywhere!
Natsumiel!
But that's...
A power I didn't ask for. One that was forced upon me. I've lost so much because of it. Just like you. But even so, I have friends who accept me. And one thing I'm certain of, they'll accept you too. If you want them to.
But
You are an aberration. As you are now, you're a worthless child. If you don't like it, try being of use for once.
Let's go back. Natsumiel.
I told you, didn't I? When it comes to this group, we're all just a bunch of oddballs.
Before we leave, let's finish what we came here to do.
what's that?
Sealing the door to this room. There. That should do it.
What did you do?
We disabled the main function so no one else can enter. We wouldn't want any miscreants getting in and causing mischief.
What about the Helganquil?
They will continue to sleep safely. We only disabled the functions of the mausoleum itself.
Do you guys always do stuff like this?
When we find mausoleums, yeah?
There should be a facility somewhere that oversees all the mausoleums, though.
Until we can locate it, this is what we have to do.
Shion and I are capable of sealing the mausoleums. The problem is, they tend to be nothing but Zeugles inside and out.
Besides, considering the current state of the world, it's too soon to get other people involved, or to let word of the mausoleum spread too far.
That's why every time a mausoleum is found, we all gather and take care of it on our own.
Yep. And I'll take any excuse to get everyone back together again.
I see.
We're all done here, so let's head back to Niez and report to Beifan.
So you and Shion are the only ones who can seal the mausoleums?
Yes, but it's also our way of setting things right.
After all, we're somewhat responsible for the worlds converging in the first place.
By the way, Alphen, what happened to your Sovereign outfit? That's some high-class gear, isn't it?
It's at docks with Shion's outfit. It stands out too much.
I admit, I fail to see how your current attire does so any less. Is it difficult to be seen as a hero?
I don't like being called the Blazing Sword.
Really?
Yeah. Dahnans and Renans make all kinds of assumptions just from that name. It doesn't feel good to be judged by people I've never even met.
Yeah.
Although I do admit it's a contradiction for me to say that while carrying around the very sword that gave me that name.
Perhaps. However, we need the sword to accomplish our current task. That's why you restored it with the Sovereign's powers, correct?
You're right. It was necessary. They might say something to you again in ES, but we won't be staying long. Nasamil, there's something I need to apologize for.
Apologize to me? Why?
It's probably my fault that you were a test subject of Lenegis.
Alphen, wait a second.
What do you mean?
The ones who experimented on the two of you did so for their own purposes.
Dohalim.
I understand how you feel, but there's no need to phrase things in such a misleading manner.
Can you please explain? I want to know.
It all started a long time ago, because Rena's Great Spirit wanted to absorb Dana's astral energy. Lenegis was created for that purpose, and the Sovereign was one of its parts.
Alphen escaped, but the Great Spirit needed a replacement to achieve its plan.
So they took me?
Yes, a lot of people were experimented on. You were one of them.
Your crest was incomplete. Perhaps your modifications were not completely finished.
Because of Volron. Because he was completed first.
1 year ago, we may have met Nazamil in a different manner. I don't know why they let you go, but we can thank that for allowing us to encounter one another.
And you, Shion?
Mine was inherited. It was one of my ancestors who underwent modification.
So in a way, you being taken was a result of my actions. I'm sorry, Nazamil.
It's okay. You don't have to be. You didn't wish for it. And I'm no different from you. Besides, I didn't lose anything by being a test subject. And more than that, it makes me happy to know that there are other people like me.
Nazami.
Bayfon should be in the Dark Wings headquarters.
Time flies when we're traveling together.
I feel like somebody's watching us.
Maybe there's someone around here who needs our help.
Looks like you took care of everything. As impressive as ever.
Any updates on the situation in town?
Yeah, but nothing good. There's no end to the people looking to stir up trouble here. Both Dahnans and Renans alike. Yeah, to be honest, sometimes I wonder if taking in those Renan refugees was the right... No, I can't go thinking like that.
Regardless of the difficulties, I want to believe that your decision to not turn the Renans away was the correct one.
I want to as well. But at any rate, Nazamil shouldn't stay here. It isn't safe for her. Not that it's her fault, but... Sorry, Nazamil.
It's fine, don't worry.
Thanks, Bayfon. All right, everyone. Let's head to Vicent.
We've arrived. This is Vicent, where Dahnans and Renans live as equals.
Equals? Even me?
Yes, I personally guarantee it.
I know it's hard to believe after Nies. We felt the same way when we first arrived.
It may do you some good to observe the city while we're on our way to visit Droshin.
Who's that?
He looks after everyone who just moved here. He'll help with all the procedures you need to go through.
You might as well check the place out. You can decide whether to live here after that.
Okay.
Is it your first time in Vicent, Nazamil?
Yes. I always tried to avoid getting too close to cities.
Then how'd you end up in Nies?
I happened to be nearby when the worlds merged. I didn't know what was happening, so I fled there for shelter.
Service Horn, what do we stand for? 1. Our ideal of coexistence. 2. Being the citizen...
It's true. This really is a masterpiece.
How come you're able to live together?
Huh? Why wouldn't we?
Because Renans and Dahnans are so different.
Well, we do have our differences. I can use astral arts, for example, while he, as a Dahnan, cannot. But My friend here can move much faster than me, and he has a splendid singing voice.
Well, your sculptures are beautiful enough to adorn the palace.
There's more to appreciate in our differences than find fault in.
Plus, differences in our individual abilities mean little in the course of day-to-day life.
I don't understand.
Well, we certainly take a different approach around here. I could see it being confusing if you're not used to it.
It looks to me like you're friends with Lord Dohalim. Maybe you could talk to him as well. Lord Dohalim is the only reason we're able to live like this in the first place.
Really?
That is what they say.
What do you think, Nazamil? Are you starting to see how things work around here?
I can see that Renans and Danans get along with each other, even if I still don't understand why.
Could you see yourself living here?
Yeah. I think I'd feel safe here.
Good. Then all that's left is to meet.
Lord Dohalim, and the rest of our heroes. If you'd given me more warning, I'd have prepared a better welcome.
That is not necessary. I no longer rule Menancia, after all.
More importantly, we have a request.
I'd be happy to do anything in my power, of course.
This is Nazamil. We'd like you to arrange for her to be able to live here.
Understood?
Aren't you going to ask if I'm Renan or Danan?
They'll ask during the formal procedures. Not that it matters much. There is one thing that matters, however. Whether or not you agree with this realm's ideals. Well, what do you say? Can you interact with those different from yourself without prejudice?
I'm not sure yet. But I think it's nice that the Renans and Danans here don't fight.
That's good enough for me. There is a screening process, but I'm sure you'll be fine. Recently, many Danans and Renans have tried to move here for our realm's abundance, yet they take issue with our principle of coexistence. That's why I'm more than prepared to defend our ideals. Oh, but I'm getting ahead of myself. A room at Autalina Palace will be provided until she has her official residence.
At the palace? Not at the inn?
It's a good way to make use of our many spacious rooms. The palace is now public property, after all. We'll show her the way there.
I appreciate that. Oh, by the way, Lagiel was wondering when you'd be coming back.
Lagiel? Understood. I'll go check on her later.
Don't Alphen and the others also live here?
Only Kisara and Rinwell at the moment. Alphen and Shion are always traveling.
Oh, I see.